So I'm started the recording for all of you so that it will be logged in between. So if we take the consideration of like the rapid prototyping and the material you asked, it is all about the things we do have in our day-to-day life. The most used material in rapid prototyping is the PLA. And the reason why I am also utilizing the PLA to build this kind of project, because PLA is biodegradable. And you as a teacher, you were explaining the terms like the sustainable development, green energy, but never trying to implement those in your classroom program. Maybe some of you were already implemented those. I'm not blaming anyone to like they are not implementing, but uh, on like 1 out of 100 peoples are actually implementing those, and 99 were like thinking how to implement those in their classroom program. So it comes with various materials. Like the PLA is mostly most common material we use in our 3D printing, and PLA stands for polylactic acid. It is biodegradable, means if you print something on your 3D printer and if you bury this particular project in the ground, then it will become the soil itself after a few couple of years. And apart from the PLA, the material will be dependent on the project you are doing in your classroom program. Suppose if you need more hardness in the printed product, then you should go for the ABS, acrylonitrile, butadiene styrene, and other form of plastics like PET and the PC polycarbonate material. You can also utilize the same. It does have wide range. Let me share my screen so that it will be great for you, for me to showcase what are the things actually we can able to, what are the like materials we can able to utilize in our rapid prototyping. Then we will proceed with the classroom program. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, fine. So in here I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share this platform. Suppose we are post-processing our model using Cura. Yesterday also I showed you the implementation, how we can go for the 3D printing after the designing is stuff. So in here we can able to choose the material, and you will find plenty full of materials for the printing. The PLA is the most common one, and we do have ABS, PVA, PC, HIPS, CP, BBOH, ASA, and we do have 3D fuel as well, the PLA. And many companies were like generating different varieties of PLA, means those material can also able to like radiate some of the like the radium stickers we do have in our homes, right? The similar features can be seen in these materials as well. Apart from these, we do have wood material, and many more materials are mentioned in this same. So we can utilize those materials as per our requirement, like the hardness, like the stiffness, and how much force it can able to absorb. We do have different plastic materials to use in different products in our life, right? So we can utilize the same in our products. So basically, the 3D printing is required to showcase the real life implementation of what you are trying to design in the platform itself. That is why you need to learn the 3D printing itself in some point of time, apart from this classroom program. So I hope I cleared your doubt, ma'am. So shall we move further into
Thank
the,
you.
yeah. So I'm moving forward in this classroom program, and today again I'm going to showcase the TinkerCAD, the problems which you all faced in the TinkerCAD platform. And yes, I will share the details of, just allow me a second. I will share you the details of what we can able to print, or the extension file used in the TinkerCAD profile itself. So let me change it to full screen mode, and I'm zooming in. So now I'm good to go. So I'm sharing my screen now. So I hope each and every teacher will join this classroom, and I created one activities yesterday, that is our first design stuff, right? The time when you will click on this design, you can see the students' work and as well as mine. The reason why the design which I had done yesterday is not showing in this particular page, because we created this activity, this classroom, after the completion of our design stuff. So if now I'm going to click on the create new design, and I will go for the 3D design, then this particular design will be saved in here through my classroom program. So you can also able to access this design in the activities sections under the classroom. So I'm going to change the name again, second day of TinkerCAD. So it will be good to keep the notes of that. And also what we do have is the one question, right? What are the extension we can able to import and export in this platform? So if we drag and drop some of the components like the cube itself in this platform, and we do have import button as well as the export button. Import button, we can utilize the import button to import some of the design which already has been done in some of the software, or any person did it in their software or in TinkerCAD platform and they already shared it with you, then you can able to like import those in your workplace. So let me show you the export function first, then we'll proceed with the import function. So here you do have three of the major extension provided by the same. So even though it is dependent on the Autodesk Fusion, because this particular platform is part of the Autodesk development, like the Autodesk is responsible to build this platform for us, so obviously they will promote their product only. They will not let you use any other extension to open this file in other softwares. But we do have two options to use these file extensions. Like we do have obj file and stl file in it, and also the .glb. For now we will leave the .glb. We won't discuss on that, but let me explain the obj and stl file for you. So obj means the object file. Means object file, we can utilize the object file in major 3D design software platform, and you can able to use the obj file to open it in approximately nearby each and every 3D software available in the market itself. And STL file does required in the post-processing software like the Cura to generate the layer by layer instruction on that. So basically for 3D printing, the STL file is the suitable file format to go with. And apart from the 3D printing, like the way we are powering the material through one by one layer method, we can also go for the laser cutting. Suppose if you have to build the outer frame for the drone itself, then you can go for the SVG file, and it can be utilized for various CNC laser engravers machine, so that you can utilize the same to cut out the portion in wood sections and the thinner sections of metal, not the thicker section. So if we export this file, the format in STL, let me show you how we can able to do the post processing using the file format. And apart from the download section, you can see that there is one direct button to 3D print. So these companies provides the printer which does have the capability to get connected over the wireless communication method, so that we just have to click on the printers makers, like the manufacturers of the 3D printer, and it will redirect us to that particular portal to directly control our 3D printers. So we won't do that for now. We just click on the download button and STL format. So now my model is downloaded, and if I just have to click on the second day of tinkercad.stl, and it will open up the Cura software, which is already installed in my computer. Sorry. So I'm sharing on new screen with all of you. So I hope this screen is visible now, right? So you can see the model is perfectly landed on the work plane of this particular software, and through this software we can able to slice it up. And by the term slicing, it means what we are doing. Suppose you do have one of the machine, and it does have like 1 mm of precision, and you have to print the 10 mm of height through the 3D printer. Then what this software will do, it will cut the object into 10 specific sections to like have the 1 mm of layer thickness, so that one layer can be deposited on 1 mm of height, then another will be 1 mm again. So overall it will go for 10 of these steps to complete the printing of this object. This is all about layering and slicing the object in our Cura software. So my screen is perfectly visible to all of you, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So if we click on the preview button in here, you will find one of the option which is for the simulation. Like you can able to see how this is going to turn out in your 3D printer. If you just drag and drop the right hand sidebar, you can see there is like a specific way to print this particular cube, and why it is shallow, like there is a hollow portion inside of the cube, because we set the infill capacity to 10%. If we increase the infill capacity to 100, and if we again click on the slice button, then what will happen? It will it will print the complete solid body. You can see there is no gap in between, right? So we do have different parameters to set in our 3D printer, and to use this software as well, you need to have proper understanding of different terms mentioned in the software itself. Then only you can able to print the things which will be ideal with respect to the material consumption and the time taken to print this object. I'm extremely sorry. So time taken to print this object. So those things we will learn on different chapter after this classroom. I will try to provide you more insight on these software as well. But we are focusing now on specifically on the TinkerCAD platform, right? So we will move on the same chapter again, like the TinkerCAD platform, and here we do have the object. So you understood the term export, right? We can able to utilize the export file using this command, and that STL file format can only be opened using the Cura software. But yes, we can also utilize other 3D design softwares to open our STL file, but there is one limitation, or we can say that there is one condition, that you cannot able to modify your design in other software using the STL format. Only the OBJ file you can able to modify using other design software. That is the limitation of STL files in designing softwares. So maybe some of the softwares are already present which can able to edit the STL file, but I don't have any particular idea about that. Maybe it is already available in the market itself. So we do have these object, and the next question which you asked me, ma'am, what was the question apart from the saving and all? Anyone do have any doubts which I explained earlier?
Sir, yeah. How to save it? Yesterday I did very small exercise, just inputting the cylinder and the cubicle, just like this, whatever you are explaining now. Save कहाँ से करना है इसको, sir?
रीजन, आप जैसे यहाँ पे इसको ओपन करेंगे ना, द टाइम यू विल ओपन अप दिस एक्टिविटी सेक्शन, you will find that my activity is already saved. I don't have to save anything in the TinkerCAD platform, as it automatically saves your design into the section. Suppose you created one of the design in this section, it will be
हाँ.
saved in the classroom itself. So suppose again I don't have access to this page, means whatever I designed earlier. So I just go through my activities. Under my activities, I will see this and have to click on Tinker this.
एक मिनट.
Okay, fine. So
now on my screen, your name is coming. That is, right now on August 20, you did that right cubicle. Just below that, your project designs, I am finding it out. Okay.
Go to
Understood.
your dashboard. Go to your dashboard. If you cannot able to find the design on that tab as well, go to your dashboard and you will see each and every design you have done throughout the time. You can see those in your dashboard under the design section. Under the design section, you have to click on this design button.
The design. Okay, we went in design then.
और आपको वहां पे वो दिखेगा, क्या आप देख सकते हैं वहां पे?
Design section I went from
No,
where
or probably you can ask her to share her screen and you can guide her.
No, actually my laptop is in school. I am working on PC and mobile. Okay, I will
Right.
find it.
But even there, if you can log on to the ID, you will be able to show that, right?
Yeah.
You don't need your laptop for that. You can show it from the browser because this is an online application.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if you can share your screen, he will be able to guide you.
Okay.
Meanwhile, my other question was, Saurabh, will you not be able to save it like a PNG or a JPG format?
If you would like to save it on image or JPEG kind of stuff, yes, you can do that by taking these screenshots or like
That is not going to be clean.
yeah, that's not going to be clean because that's the reason, because we are talking about the 3D modeling in here. We are not talking about the conventional 2D design of something. And if you need to take the screenshot of this image, then I will prefer, I will ask you to like install any of the softwares, like the 3D design softwares in your,
Yeah,
the
GeoGebra is
Blender.
capable of doing that, right? GeoGebra
And
has a fantastic
yeah,
3D
yeah, yeah.
version of it, right?
Yes, ma'am. Correct, correct. And also, Blender is too much ideal to use because Blender is also the open source platform, open source software you can utilize in your projects, and Blender will can able to generate the PDF and image file accordingly. Even though if I open this thing up, suppose if I'm opening this particular model in my one of the major software I do have in my computer, that is the SolidWorks. So let me share my screen back again. So I hope it is visible to you. The SolidWorks is loading today.
Yes.
So let it open it up. Okay, the screen sharing is stopped because software opened up. Okay, fine. So if we try to open this file, if we try to open this particular file from, like we cannot able to see that file, we need to change to all files, then only it will be visible to me. Otherwise, it won't be visible. Let's see what happens if we try to open the STL file. So now we do have the STL file opened perfectly in the SolidWorks software, and you can able to like go for the same. You can able to scroll and do the things, and here I do have the file and print preview and print option, or we can just save it as, if we try to save it as JPEG or any of the format, then yes, you can able to do that using any others design software. But maybe there will be some flaws, like you can see lines are clearly visible in this, but I don't know whether it is visible in the JPEG. Let me see that. Yeah, the line is visible. There will be flaws on that. There will be always a flaw. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen, and again I will share the picture. I just took the screenshot and just saved the picture. So here you can able to see the screen, right? Here is the picture is visible, and you can see even though I saved it in JPEG format, it will show you the flaws in between. So it will be great to use the screenshots directly to showcase the product in front of the students, and there will be no issue on their work plane visibility or something like that. You don't have to worry about those things. And throughout the session, I utilized the same. Yesterday we went through the workshop, and I do have this particular 3D machine, 3D printing machine in my workshop area, so that we can able to print those using the 3D printer itself. So, so any other questions, ma'am? You do have?
Yeah, I got it. Whatever we are making, I am getting it on my dashboard. But it is not asking us to give the file name or something because such kind of the option is not coming to save the file or.
It won't ask you to save the file because
Hmm.
TinkerCAD
Hmm.
platform does have the default feature to save your model.
Hmm.
So in every 5 seconds, it will save your model. Whenever
Hmm.
you make any of the changes in the model, it will
Hmm.
save the model without asking anything. So
Hmm.
that the major reason to develop this platform, because I was involved in the development, the time when it was early phase of its development, the
Hmm.
major reason to build this platform is to bring many collaborators in one single website to collaborate and complete the project work in one single workplace. So that is the main reason. Means this platform is created for the collaboration perspective. And apart from this, we do have several platforms in which you will find plenty full of design things like the GraphCAD. I do have my profile in the GraphCAD itself. So actually, I worked earlier as a design professional. So if you look into my profile, I'm the core member of GrabCAD. In here, I'm the insider. So these platforms give you the best out of model present in the market. You will find plentiful of projects. Even though I also shared my project in these platforms, so you'll find a ton of things. And also we do have My Mini Factory. My Mini Factory is one of the coolest place for the designers to have different designs, and many things are free to download. You can utilize. You can just download the designs and print it so that you will have the projects. Like if I search something science related, or let me explore the things, and if you go for the education, if I click on the education, you will find plentiful of products being mentioned in the different sections. Like biology, we do have several projects. In chemistry, we do have different structure of copy molecules,
Mm.
and so many things are there. You will find plentiful of things, ma'am, through the internet search, and these platforms actually are free. Some of the objects, some of the project does cost you at some point, but almost every object and every project is free in this case, so you can utilize these in your application, in your classroom program. So if you
Mhm.
find any difficulties as well designing certain things, then yes, I'm always open up for the same. Like you can come back to me and ask for
Yesterday
this.
you showed something to cut the edges. What was that option?
Yeah,
Cut
we
the.
we do have the two type of shape, right? One is the solid shape and another one is whole kind of structure. We do have two options
Mm.
to choose from.
Mm.
So suppose if you are trying to make one of the hole in this solid surface, then what we need to
Mm.
bring this the whole kind of feature. Suppose I drag and drop this sphere in it, right? So now
Mm.
if I the time when I dragged and dropped the sphere in my work plane, it comes
Mm.
in the solid feature, right? So if
Mm.
we have to change it to the whole feature, and then what I will do, I will coincide the both object and I will place this object the place where I would like to have this section cut, right? I just place this object to remove this extra section from this cubicle object, and then I will select the both of the object at once by clicking on Control A button, or just dragging mouse, clicking on the left mouse button and dragging this window to select both of the components, both of the model at the same time. And then we will have one option on top of the one, that is to group the object. So what we are trying to do in here, we are bringing two of the shapes in the work plane and trying to merge those together. So suppose one is solid and another one is shallow, then what will be the result? The shallow one will be removed from the solid object, right? So
Okay.
that's the basic idea behind grouping this thing in TinkerCAD platform. So the time when we click on the group button, it will remove that section from the solid body.
Okay.
That is the main way to the easiest way to do the things in TinkerCAD platform. So through this, we can able to like have different shapes and different shapes in our model itself. Through this, we can able to tinker various type of things in the TinkerCAD platform.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So right now it was showing the work plane. So whenever you will bring any of the work plane, it will show only the time you are modifying the work plane up, and then it will be hidden from the workspace as well. Only the blue work plane you will see all the time throughout the journey. And if you need to have a proper picture or something like that, you just have to orient this in a straight line and take the views. You just have to take the screenshot at this particular position, so it won't be any bad because we are utilizing the same for a couple of years, so there won't be any issue on that. So yesterday also I explained, if we have to group do two things, two solid objects together, then right now this upper one and the bottom one is two different models, right? Two different shapes in the work plane. But if we click on both, or just click on shift, press the shift and select the second one as well, and if we group the two solid model together, then what will happen? It will become one single object. Now if I try to modify the dimension, you can see we can able to modify each and everything in the model itself, like both of the designs, both the models were combined in one place. So the reason to group these things, because to form one solid bodies, otherwise what will happen, the 3D printer will think it in different terms, like this particular model is different and this particular model is different, so it will treat those two on a separate basis. So you have to combine each and everything at the end to build one complete solid model in the platform itself. What else you face the problem, ma'am, in the TinkerCAD platform? So the reason why I shared that PDF with you, ma'am and sirs, if any sir is there still, because to help you understand the basic concept of the TinkerCAD platform, and you can explore the tools using the um, using the concept I mentioned in the PDF. That PDF I also found it from one of the places which is free for all of the educators to download the resources and all. So I will share those in after some of the classes, because I don't want to be misused in these classes section, because some of the earlier times you've seen the many people were joined the session, right? And now we do have very less number of teachers present in the classroom program. So the reason why we are not having much more teachers, because maybe they are not devoting their time, or they are thinking that they know everything. And some of the marketing person also joined the session, so that is why they left. They did not got anything from me apart from the lecture plan for 1 hour to suffer, and then they left. So these things will help you build proper understanding in TinkerCAD platform. You can go through the each and everything to have a proper understanding of how to like change the orientation and how to align objects as well as to flip object. We do have option as well. Let me show you the one more option in TinkerCAD platform today, so that it will be great for you to yesterday I showed you to how to rotate this object, right? You just have to click on the angle icon on the top and have to change the by dragging and dropping the model in a specific direction. And you can also able to choose and decide which angle you want to rotate the object. And obviously, because we are talking about the 3D models, then yes, it does require three-dimensional rotation. So you can rotate on either of the axes, like on any three of them. So apart from these, what we do have is the mirror section, right? If we click on the mirror, and you will be given by the option like the three axis again. So if we click on any of the arrow to mirror this thing, then you will find, okay, the object is not visible in here. Let me bring one of the work plane on one of the sides. So I'm just dragging the work plane and creating one work plane in here. Now the time when I will click on the mirror, and if I choose these particular, okay, it is not showing in here. So okay, basically what is happening in here, we are mirroring it. Control Z. Okay, fine. Because it won't reflect in here, because our object is identical from each of the sides, but here we do have unidentical side. Like we do have one groove cutting in front of the object, right? So if we click on these arrow, so what it will do, it will reverse. It will mirror the object on other side. Why we do have the mirror option? Suppose if you created one of the legs of a robot. Suppose you created these particular legs. I'm just representing using the polygon shape with some heights. So that suppose this particular is the leg itself, like this one. And if you want to like replicate this object or build this object, so you just have to like group these two objects together. So now I'm just grouping these two objects and merging it in one. So now we do have some basic structure to follow with, or let me change this with the square one, so it will be great to have the proper understanding. So I'm just dragging and dropping sorry, so I'm dragging and dropping this object in here. So I'm just approximately creating what I'm trying to explain. Okay, you don't have to be perfect to explain something. So now we do have one leg-like of a structure, similar basic structure in. So if we change this like this one, and now if we click on this and copy, we do have the duplicate and repeat option. So if we copy it or we duplicate this thing, then we will have another one object, right? So now what we need to do, either we can do it by rotation, by rotating this object to make the right hand side foot like this one, or we can also do the mirror command in here to replicate this object. So it will exactly rotate the desired object the way we want to have. So now we do have two of the legs in here. Now we are dragging and dropping one more cube to form the basic shape. So I'm just dragging and dropping the cube in here, and I'm just placing the cube in mid between, or else if I do have any problems placing the cube in mid between, then I will select these two objects. So actually the backside model is also being selected, so I'm just removing, dragging and dropping it to the side face so that we can able to see the object. Now if we just select the object and align it, so you will find plentiful of option to align it on place, right? So I'm just clicking on the middle portion and again on the middle portion. So actually these middle portion is not required, otherwise what will happen, it will merge two of the models. We just have to align in this axis, in this particular axis, so that our the rectangular structure with the height will stay on mid between. So we can able to adjust the dimensions as well. So now it is perfectly aligned. So through this, after clicking on this, we will increase the radius to form a specific structure like a stomach kind of a structure. So now we do have this one. So if we go to the top hand side view, you will see this is misplaced at some point. So we are just dragging and dropping in here, and I'm trying to merge. I'll try to lower it a little bit so that both of the object will merge, and just like that we are placing this object in mid of twos. So now these three things are combined in here, and we can able to change the, yeah. So now the stomach portion is completed. I'm going to select all of this and grouping it to one. So now my model leg along with the things is completed, but we have to make our foot in front direction. So you can either just ungroup these things and click on one of the object to rotate it in this direction, right? So then only it will be great. So I'm rotating it in 90 degrees. Otherwise you just have to enter the value in here and hit enter. So it will change in this direction. So again, I'm clicking on it and changing the value to 90, and let's see what happens. So changing the value to 90, it rotated it on the opposite direction, right? So we are trying to put the minus 90 value in here so that it will rotate in the front direction. Now you can see this is perfectly aligned in one place, and now we just have to match everything up in one place so that we will have a proper outcome of this design. So now my design is perfectly aligned. So again, I'm selecting the whole and just clicking on the group button, so then it won't move from one place to another. Otherwise, what will happen, the time when you will start creating the models, like the basic shape on top of it, what will happen, it will misplace or it will relocate at some other location. Then it will be difficult for you to like get back to the design and change the orientation and change the shape and fix all the issues. So try to combine each and everything after individual steps, then only it will be impactful for you to have this. So apart from this, if we drag and drop this sphere on top of it, then also we can able to build these kind of stuff. I just dragged one of the sphere on top of it, and the sphere is not perfect in here. So I'm going to the top hand side, top view of this model. I'm just bringing this thing on mid portion. So now my model is in mid portion. I'm just going to combine these two again. So now we do have completely functional models. So now I'm the time, if you suppose if you do have two of the models in your work plane and you would like to like have one design saved in your computer rather than the second one, you just have to click on the export button again, and you will given by the option that to export the everything in the design, right? Include, here we do have include everything in design, but the time when you click on this design and press the export button, you will be given by the option everything in the design or the selected shape. So I'm going to export the selected shape over there. So I'm just clicking on STL file format and my model is downloaded. So I'm going to open this model for you to understand that we only imported one model on this single row, even though if we do have two models present in our work plan. So my Cura is opened and I'm going to share my screen. I'm stopping my screen sharing in here. I'm going to open up the Cura for you to have the understanding of what we imported from the TinkerCAD. Right? This is the basic model. I'm not saying it is professional, but in the meantime, in the lowest possible time, this one we can able to create. This one I can able to create to showcase in front of you. So now, if we click on the slice button, you will find one pretty good outcome. If you click on the preview, you will see how your model is going to be built using the 3D printer, how it is going to be printed using the 3D printer. This is the basic common things. And why to have these yellow things in mid between if you do have two of the legs, but why the yellow part? Because yes, we need some of the supports to print our things, and you can see one of the option is stick, the support one. If we remove the support option in here and click again on the slice, then you won't find the support in the model itself, right? The reason why we are providing supports in our design, because to remove the overhanging portion, and the reason to print overhanging portion like the cantilever beam structure or some of the portion which is inclined in all of the terms. So you cannot able to print something in the air, right? You need to have proper support for the overhanging parts in the model itself. So this is how we can able to design each and everything and go for the 3D printing stuff. At some point of time, yes, you may require 3D printer in your classroom program. Otherwise, it will be difficult for the teachers as well as institute owners to go for these STEM classes. They often go through different details, like they go through discussion with lots of companies, and then the company itself enforces them to buy the components and buy so many things. So that will be burden to all of the teachers as well as the institution. So basically you need those basic stuff to start the classes in your classroom. So I hope I cleared each and everything respective to the design of in tinkercad, right? And the thing which are not mentioned is clearly mentioned in the PDF itself. So I request you all to take the time to go through the PDF and complete the lessons. Then only it will be great for you to have these classes. Then only, ma'am, na, you will have the doubt and you will ask me, Saurabh, having this much of this difficulties in my design. Then I will come with my answers and the explanation on those parts. Until unless if you not trying to invest your time on that, then how it will be possible for me to have this everything. I hope you all understood what I'm trying to say. So, so any other question, ma'am, in this class today regarding Tinkercad? I've seen many teachers joined the class too. Yeah. And if you go through the activities, I can find each and every design made by the teacher also. Lakshmi ma'am created some of the cubes. That's great. And we do have the my first project from Kirti Nayak sir. So wow, seriously, you made this, Kirti sir? Kirti sir are there in this class? Yeah, the object and one is the, yeah, we do have one or more design. So go through the tinkercad platform, ma'am. Otherwise it is not going to help you in any of means. The time when you will start having tinkering this platform to build several stuff, then only you can come to know that how we can able to build different objects and different things. So that we will also explore one of the option in here, that is the Sims lab, which I already
Saurabh, I
mentioned.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you be able to use mathematical functions and come up with the output for the same? Because one of the requirements is likely to be the construction or the transformation of a mathematical function into its corresponding 2D or a 3D output. Is it possible?
Yes, we will have that. We will have that for sure. The mathematical transformation will be there, but you have to go through the design aspects first. Then I will come back to the circuitry stuff, and we will explore the Sims lab, in which you can able to perform the mathematical and physics simulations. So we will have those things as well in this. So it does have variety of tasks we can able to utilize. And in the Python programming, ma'am, itself, the time you will complete this one, I will let you have one understanding in Python programming, in which you can able to generate the 3D design using your programming feature in the Python itself. That is the main motto of whole classes. Like how, see, I'm trying to explain the basic things from the day one, and the on the very last day or second last day, we will merge everything together to form one good outcome of this classroom journey. That is the main motto behind these classes. So
Excuse me, sir.
even, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Sir, I wanted to ask if you can just provide a little simple assignments that we can go through. My name is Jaya.
Okay, Jaya ma'am, yes, sure. The simple assignment, if you go through the PDF, maybe you already opened the PDF, ma'am. If you go through the PDF, you will
Yes, sir.
find
Yes.
plenty of design lessons are there already. You just have to complete single lessons which is mentioned in the objects. Like you are seeing one of the triangular portion being dropped on
I've
top of the
tried
head.
one also and added to the class activity also. If you can just see, I'll just use those only things which you
Okay,
taught yesterday.
then what I will do, I will take the screenshots from here and I will add it in activities over there in TinkerCAD.
Saurabh, are you able to see the design that I have made?
Yes, ma'am. Let me share my screen with TinkerCAD one, so that you can
Please,
show
if
me
you can see mine
I
also.
just made a rudimentary design. I just wanted
which.
to know
Mhm.
are you able to see that?
Okay, which one, ma'am? I
The
can able to see
first design by Lakshmi.
the Lakshmi Subramaniam, right?
Yes. Okay, this one.
Yeah.
So you will be able to see this, right?
Yeah, I can able to see this.
Yeah.
And if you find any difficulties, like if you're facing any of the problem to like import the object or like bring any of the components in one of the dimension, then I can able to modify those in real time to showcase how we can fix those issues. Like if we have to bring anything in here as well, so we can able to do that through this same. We can also build the robots using this feature, like we can able to make the shapes and all, so you can utilize the same for your design. And the reason why I ask you to build the model inside the activities tab, because I can also able to access those and able to modify as per your need.
So, are you able to see my design?
Yes, ma'am. Which design you are talking about,
Jaya.
ma'am?
Jaya.
Yeah, Jaya ma'am, yes, this particular house you created earlier. Yeah, that's great project actually. Yes, you learned the way how to cut specific sections from in the design model itself, right? So this will be great to create a whole simulation platform, and then further we will add the simulation using the Sims. I will teach you how to do that using the Sims lab. You can able to do the various simulations. Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So one of the simulation I seen in TinkerCAD platform. Let me show you one of the things, and the projects and classroom and the resource. You will go through the, you can also go through the resource center in the TinkerCAD. You will find plenty full of examples in lesson plans and so many things. Like see, create a wheelchair for difficult terrain and environments, create a piece of skatable art, create a solar power inventions, program an LED. The circuitry part is not yet delivered from me. So leave it for now. Design your own dream room. So reinvent the shopping cart. Take any of the examples from these sections through in the resource tab, and you can find plentiful of examples to start with. So here we do have learning center. You can also go through the learn 3D design in the tinkercad platform, and you will follow, you just have to follow the procedure how to do that. So we have to place it, we have to view it, move it, and suppose if we are creating one of the dice in the tinkercad platform. So let me go back to the tinkercad, and I'm just going to create, sorry, after the class, I'm going to create the thing under the activities. So I'm creating one more design, and so now I'm dragging and dropping this cube on the work plane, and you will have one more features like the text thing in here. So I'm just dragging and dropping the text on uh, top of this cube. I'm just reducing the size of this text and changing the text to 1. So I'm changing the text to 1. So now I do have 1. So I'm just trying to center this 1. I'm just aligning these in center. So again, I'm clicking and aligning it in center. So you can see it is aligned perfectly in center. And now what I'm trying to do is to like let it be. So I'm just keeping it in here. So I'm just clicking on the number 1 and just dropping the number 1 using this triangular arrowhead a little bit inside of the cube. And I'm clicking on the 1 itself, the letter itself, and changing the solid to whole feature. Now we do have whole feature. I'm selecting the both and grouping the both. So by this method you can able to create dice, and the dice does not have the sharp corner, right? So we can able to just click on these, and it won't work until and unless you remove the grouping feature. So just I'm removing ungrouping these and clicking on this cube shape and creating the radius kind of stuff. I'm not creating the radius so too much high as it will become the sphere. So I'm just limiting the radius to 1300 around. So now again we can able to select both of the components and group it up. So you can see one group is perfectly cut in this middle section. This is the way you can create dice. I will encourage you to like go for the dice creation, so that it will give you the flexibility to understand how to place different objects on each side, even though in the bottom side, and go for the grouping and ungrouping, as well as you can also learn the alignment feature properly in the process. So let me drag and drop one more text in here. I'm just changing the value of text to 2. So I'm just reducing the size. So try to keep the same size for each and every text you use. So length and width will be accordingly on our own. I'm just inserting the text a little bit inside, and now we do have this shape. I'm grouping the text into my rectangular shape, and you can see we made the impression. Oh, okay. The reason why we did not make the impression, because we did not change the shape solid to the whole, right? We need to change the letter 2 to whole, then only it will be grouped to form the cut inside of this dice. You can see now the 2 is perfectly cut. You can also able to rotate these things, like you can also able to rotate these things to have the proper alignment on the surface. Now I rotated this thing, and again I'm changing the value from solid to whole and grouping this thing. So now these 1 and 2 is perfectly aligned in all the lanes, right? Except the 2 is smaller than the 1. That is why it is taking less size compared to the letter 1, numerical value 1, right? So this is how we can do simple stuff. Go for the simple examples present nearby you. Then only it will be great for you to have proper design understanding how to build this stuff. If you do have pencil box, then go for it. You do have bottles in your home, go for it. Anything you find plenty, like the glasses itself, the mobile phone, go for it. whatever you see, go for it. Then only you will get proper command in this platform. That is the main idea behind learning these thing in here. So I hope everyone cleared, do not have any doubts in this thing up to now. But yes, there is no limitation on our discussion in the TinkerCAD platform. But at least you all have to go through the practice. You have to focus for, because we do have very high gaps in between the classes, right? And also you do have a whole week to complete 2 or 3 of the designs. Just invest 30 minutes of your time in this design lesson so that we can proceed further. Otherwise, what will happen, ma'am and sir, the time when I will try to teach you something like the circuitry related or something to develop a project related to Arduino and try to go for the prototype development, and the time when I will show you how to do the 3D printing itself, then it will be confusing for you to like cope up like how this thing is happening. That is the reason I'm asking again and again to practice it on daily basis. At least invest 15 minutes of your time doing the design stuff. So we will go for the programming on next from our next classes.
Sir,
So
can you see my login over there? My stuff. It is very at minimum level, but I just want to check. Bhagyashri and
let me go back to the classroom, ma'am, and let me
yes,
see
sir.
whether I can able to see it or not. Sorry. So now
Yeah,
which one? Ma'am? Bhagyashree.
Bhagyashri.
Yeah. So let me tinker this and let's see if yeah, only the cube you imported in the workplane, right?
Yeah, one heart and green. Just it was only just trial ki whether I am able to send it or not.
You
Okay.
have to invest proper time on that and try to use the mouse. And if you're like if you are using the laptop for this application, then please use the mouse along with the laptops. Then
Yeah.
only the design will be perfect in all sense. Otherwise you will find many difficulties challenging life in making different designs in the platform itself. So I hope the doubts is clear for this today's session, and please try to complete those as I have to cope up with the programming stuff. That is the major importance to like important thing to do in this 10 days journey, right? We already completed our several sessions, like the 4 of them. So those I will try to introduce the Arduino IDE, in which we will go for the embedded C programming from scratch, from zero level to advanced level, and further we will have the Python programming at the ending of this session. Then only you can able to utilize this free session. And if I can able to teach one of the teacher perfectly in this session, then I am to completely feel like I won something from my country. So that will be major idea behind this whole session. So one teacher can able to devote, then it will be great. If one teacher will stay for the rest of the journey, then also it will be great. But I will encourage each and every team members to like follow the same procedure to get your learnings go on in a perfect way. So thank you so much everyone for your time, and thank you so much for everything. So we will meet again on Saturday at the same time. We'll have try to come on and join these sessions, online sessions, so that it will be easier for you to ask the question in between and go through your doubts and clear your doubts in between. Yeah, Swati ma'am, thank you so much, and everyone, thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you,
a
sir,
great day.
for your
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank
sir,
you.
for your
Thank you
sheer
so
efforts.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Now
Thank
we
you.
need to do hands-on.
Yes, ma'am. Then only we can able to go for the programming, ma'am. I'm just waiting for the programming because these are the kids thing. I know you can all able to do that in no time, but you have to invest a little bit of your free time in this. The major platform we are going to do have is the programming. That is the most important part in robotics and AI. This is only for your understanding, the TinkerCAD platform and so many things, but that thing we will utilize in our classroom program. So thank you so much and have a good day, everyone. See you. Bye bye.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, bye bye.